Hi, I'm Wendy Yellen, and this is The Art of Transformation. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my understanding of the difference between psychotherapy, somatic therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, coaching, and eidetic therapy. And if you want to be notified as soon as these videos come out, then please hit like and subscribe because I would really appreciate that. Thank you. So if you've ever wondered about really what is eidetic mentoring or eidetic therapy and the difference between that and coaching or psychotherapy, I'm going to do my very best to answer you from a more technical place a little bit, but also from my own personal experience because I've done most of them at least a little bit. Some of this I took from the internet and in terms of the definitions, and some of it is again from my own experience. So coaching is used to support you to take steps in your business and or in your life. It helps you by giving structures and, quote, improve performance or to help you learn. It's very here and now based and not necessarily in the past. More traditional psychotherapy often does focus on the past. So you can move from your past and move forward through understanding, forgiveness, and insight. And it's, quote, to eliminate or control symptoms to function better in life. Cognitive behavioral therapy, which is extremely common and popular right now, helps you to become aware of inaccurate or negative thinking so you can view challenging situations more clearly and respond to them in a more effective way. It's cognitive, so it's very much based in if you can change your thinking, you can change your mind. If you can change your thinking, you can change your life. Somatic psychotherapy helps you to become aware of bodily sensations and uses therapeutic techniques to release tension that the body is holding. I was trained years ago in a kind of emotional release body work, and I may talk about that a little bit later, and it definitely helped me for sure. Now, eidetic imagery, eidetic therapy, eidetic mentoring, as I do it, obviously, it's my favorite or I wouldn't do it. And the reason I love this way of working with people, very biased, is because it assumes that when you have a trauma or a difficulty, that trauma or difficulty holds back certain parts of you because it wasn't okay to act or behave in a certain way, or even to think or feel in a certain way. And so your body holds it back. Your mind can't think that way. And as a result, parts of you get crushed down. It's, as Dr. Austin, the father of eidetic imagery, used to say, it's like a crust of history over you. And so what eidetic mentoring does is uses images which are deep inside of us, not visualizations, but eidetic images, which you don't control, which come forward and they build or rebuild neural pathways in your mind so that you start to find yourself acting like yourself. Clearly, I'm biased, but after all, you are listening to me, so this is my point of view. I've used all three: coaching, therapy, and eidetic mentoring. My mother was kind of a cognitive behavioral therapist, rational therapist, and so I have had a little tiny, when I was younger, a young adult, I had some experience from her, and I have some friends who are cognitive behavioral therapists. My own history is that I've worked with people in personal development for more than 40 years, and I have my master's of social work from Smith College School for Social Work. Now, that's a really traditional training when I took it. Psychodynamic psychotherapy. It's not analysis, but if it's very, very traditionally based. But when I was studying at Smith, and afterwards, when I did a family therapy fellowship and learned a number of other modalities, I just felt like I wanted to keep broadening how I was able to help people change. So I got certified in a kind of emotional release body work. As I said, I had a family therapy fellowship where we also were introduced to Milton Erickson and hypnotherapy, lots of modalities, brief family treatment. So what I say here comes from that training and that base. For me, and I emphasize for me and my clients, many times I and they have done different kinds of work, and each piece has most likely helped at least some, and sometimes a lot. For example, the emotional release body work at the time really helped me. And psychotherapy was helping me to a certain degree, but my mind was too busy trying to defeat myself and my therapists. And what I found was that as each one was a stepping stone for me to go on to the next one. Like I got more into my body. I got more into feeling my body. I had no idea what a feeling was. I had more understanding of what had happened in my family, what was happening in my marriage. I was able to tolerate and have feelings and express them, be more present. All those things happened way before I ever was introduced to Eidetics. When I found Eidetics, I thought I'd hit gold because what I realized was there were places inside me that I'd never even seen or felt before. With all this other work, it was extraordinary. And they were the very pieces where I was holding myself back, where I was stopping myself from having what I wanted. It's crazy, but that is what we do as people. And I was also, as I alluded to, using my mind way too much to interfere. So if you're smart, the chances are you're probably doing that too. And what I really appreciated about Eidetics is, as long as I followed the directions and watched the image and didn't just think about the image, then I actually was changing and I was feeling better. And I woke up one day and walking around my office and I felt this really strange feeling. And I recognized that after a while, it took me a while, it was joy. I had no reason to be feeling joyful. I was just walking around my office. So that was a shock. I had no idea what that was. Joy for no reason. So I have a client who needs a lot of quiet time in order to thrive, and needs some separation from people in order to be able to be her full self. She just needs that time, that alone time. Probably you really understand this. Some of you will really understand this for yourself. And one of the images that came through was all by itself was her father seeing her as a child and seeing her need for quiet and connection, for quiet and creativity, and for quiet, creativity, and connection all together. And in the image, the way he is talking to her and being kind and separate, but at the same time connected, is giving the little girl in the image exactly what she needs to be able to come out a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And my client, as an adult, a very accomplished adult, is feeling this, feeling as if it were happening right now and as if she was still a child, feeling this ability to be herself and be creative and be connected. And it's powerful for her. It's not something that she's had a lot of experience with, but because of the nature of Eidetics, she is getting that experience now. The biggest difference for me is the assumption about what is possible. And I often find this when I'm talking to my therapist friends and colleagues. Like, I assume so much is possible for my clients. I love it because when my clients come to me, I feel like, well, there's something we can do for that. There's an image for that, if you will. There's work we can do. There's an image for you for that because it's unique to that person. That there's the person isn't locked into who they've always been. They're not locked into how they always thought about themselves. They're not locked into how they have always felt. There are other possibilities, and they're coming, and they can come to the fore. And it just takes a little bit of time and energy and effort on a regular basis. And the neural pathways start to reopen up to who you were before your history. And that's what I love, that the possibilities that I see in myself and others is huge. And I love that. So, as I said, I've used coaching, for example, for my business. And I've used therapy to feel better before I met Eidetics. And so here's how it went for me. So I didn't want to grow simply from understanding something differently. That just seemed for me too superficial, but it helped me. And I needed that at the time. But the old tensions were still in my body. I don't want to just remove the old tensions in my body because of different traumas in history, even though that helped me a lot. It helped me to feel happier. But I'm checking my notes. I realized that there's the problem itself actually holds a key to a lot more of me and a lot more of you than just understanding it, making it go away, solving it. And it's the gift of that problem that I now know I want. The many, many gifts that every single quote problem has for us. It's extraordinary. And these resources and potentials are barricaded inside of you and inside of all of us. They got locked away during trauma, and through repeated projections of the images that are inside of us without interfering with them, they'll take us by the hand, literally take us by the hand to more of who we are. And that's what I want back for myself. And that's what my clients want back. And that's what Eidetics gives me. And that's what I do my best to give you with Eidetic mentoring. I don't feel in any way like I need to teach anybody anything. I don't feel in any way that I'm teaching someone how to behave differently, that if they just understood that what they were doing was wrong or bad or harmful to them, that they would stop. Because I don't think that as human beings, we're that simple. We're way more complicated and way more difficult, really. We definitely stand in our own way. But if you will, what I do teach is how to use your mind differently. So instead of interfering with you or making you feel more stiff or more in your head and less in your body, that I give you a way to work with your mind and to access your deeper mind, a very, very soulful place, so that you stop resisting it, that part of yourself coming through. If you're ready to see what Eidetics might be able to do for you and you want to have a conversation with me about that at no charge, it's my gift to you, go to www.measiwanttobe.com. And there's an experiential video there for you to watch, experience, and then there's a preparation form that you submit where you write about certain aspects of the image and the experience you just had and tell me a little bit more about what you want. We'll meet. I'll go over what you're wanting, and I'll go over the image that you've already seen. We'll work with it a little tiny bit, and I'll show you what would or could happen if we work together with Eidetics based on what's already happened for you in the image and based on my understanding of you and your consciousness from that image. measiwanttobe.com. Thank you, and I will see you on the next recording.